Welcome everyone to a secret fifth episode of Star Stable Online Soul Riders. In this episode, I'm basically going to explain in the shortest words as possible what each Soul Rider did in the storyline and how they impacted it. I will be going in the order of the Soul Riders from the episodes, so we'll be starting with Alex, then moving on to Lisa, then moving on to Linda, then going on to Anne. So let's start with our first Soul Rider of the episode, Alex Cloudman. Alright, starting off with the fierce Soul Rider, Alex, let's find out what she did in the story. Section 1. Alex Cloudman. Alex Cloudman is the energetic, fearless, and confident Soul Rider. She grew up with her loving family and has always been adventurous. Alex shares a powerful bond with the horse Tin Can, who has stood beside her through every challenge. Throughout the storyline, Alex is often the first one to rush into danger. So normally when there's a quest or anything, if it's a fighting scene, if Alex is in the area or if she's available, she will normally be the first one there. Check it out in game. You will see that this fact is actually true. She never backs down from a fight against Garnock's forces or the Dark Riders, even when situations become dangerous. Alex encourages and inspires us and the rest of the Soul Riders and everyone in Yolvik to keep going. One of Alex's biggest roles in the story is protecting Yolvik and helping the player discover their own Soul Rider powers. She fights alongside the player in many quests, helps rescue friends, chooses and closes dangerous Pandoric rifts, and constantly risks herself to save others. It's safe to say that Alex is definitely the Soul Rider that wants to be in action the most. So if it's going to be a battle scene, fighting Dark Riders, fighting GED, Alex will always be there because she always wants to take a fight. Although Alex sometimes acts before she thinks, her bravery makes her one of the team's strongest members. She reminds everyone that courage isn't about being afraid, it's about doing the right thing, even when you are scared. So I think it's safe to say that the thing that Alex does the most in the storyline is she fights the most in battle scenes. So even if it's against Dark Riders or Garnock's army or anyone of the evil side, Alex will always be there to fight. But that's not the only thing she does. She also helps with solving clues and generally just helps with soul riding business. Without Alex, many battles against the Dark Riders would have been lost. Again, she has the power of lightning, which literally her power is actually out of the 4 Soul Rider powers, Star, Moon, Sun, and Lightning, her power is the only one that can actually hurt people, so that's why she likes fighting the most. A lot of the battles against the Dark Riders and GED would have been lost. Her determination, loyalty, and positive attitude makes her one of the team's heroes who keeps hope alive throughout the adventure. It's safe to say that if you're definitely going to go to a battle, you're definitely going to want Alex on your side as she is a fighter. Okay, that's basically a wrap on Alex, so let's move on to our next Soul Rider. The Soul Rider of Healing and the Star Circle, it's herself, Lisa. Section 2. Lisa Peterson. Before I start this section, I just want to say I think we can all agree that Lisa had a very sad childhood and a very hard life, as her mother died at a very young age, and I can't imagine what it would be like to grow up without a mother. Lisa Peterson is the calm, kind-hearted, and thoughtful Soul Rider. She is a talented singer, songwriter, whose music reflects her emotions and her deep connection to nature. Her horse, the beautiful and beloved Starshine, is one of the legendary soul horses. Lisa's role in the storyline is incredibly important because she brings balance to the group. While the others rush into battle, Lisa carefully thinks through problems and reminds everyone to stay united. She's also a very important team player as she has the power of healing. So if anyone in the team gets injured, Lisa is going to be the one that has to heal them. She has faced many difficult moments, including being separated from her friends and struggling with the responsibilities of being a Soul Rider. Like I said, Lisa has had a very hard life, so her being a Soul Rider adds a whole nother plate to her life. I can't imagine how busy Lisa is on a daily basis. Despite these hardships, she never gives up, and I think that's a quality that all the Soul Riders have. They never give up. Lisa's magical abilities and specialties are especially powerful and needed when healing. Her powers are healing, protecting others, and strengthening the bond between the Soul Riders. And I think this is why many people call her the heart of the Soul Rider, because she is the person that keeps the Soul Riders together. She has a good bond with every single Soul Rider. She's like known to be with all the Soul Riders and to like generally be the one who keeps the group together. And I feel like to have someone like that, it shows leadership qualities. And I think because of the lack of trust that Lisa has in people after her mom died away, she's saying, I want to be in charge. Like she doesn't want to let things happen because she couldn't prevent it. So Lisa is, I would say, if I had to pick a leader for the Soul Riders, I would pick between Alex or Lisa because of their good qualities. Like I said, those are her powers, and it helps with bonding the strength and bond between the Soul Riders, Linda, Alex, and Anne. She helps the player understand the importance of friendship, trust, and hope, which are 3 important qualities in Star Stable. Throughout the story, Lisa proves that true strength doesn't always come from fighting. It also comes from kindness, patience, and believing in others. Without Lisa, the Soul Riders would lose their emotional heart and one of the greatest sources of wisdom and hope. I think what they would also lose is their incredible bond. That's a wrap on Lisa Peterson. Let's move on to our next Soul Rider, Linda Chander. Section 3, Linda Chander. Boy oh boy, do I tell you that the Soul Riders are lucky to have Linda. Linda Chander is the intelligent, quiet, and highly observant Soul Rider. I think just that intro line alone, you can tell what she does for the group. Highly observant, quiet, and intelligent Soul Rider. Just that line alone, I think you already know what Linda's about. She loves reading, researching ancient history, and uncovering secrets hidden across Jorvik with her horse, Meteor. Linda plays one of the most important roles in the storyline because she discovers many of the clues that help the Soul Riders understand Garnock, Pandoria, Aideen, and the ancient history of Jorvik. While the other Soul Riders might be going out to do missions, Linda is staying behind in the libraries, reading all books, all notes, finding all the clues she can about Garnock and the Dark Riders. Although she does also go out on missions sometimes, I just think from when I've played the story, most of the time she stays behind to do research or watch over something or find out more about what they need to find out. Now let's find out how she does it and why she does it. Whenever the group encounters mysterious symbols, magical books, or forgotten ruins, Linda is usually the one who figures out what they mean. Her knowledge allows the Soul Riders to solve problems that strength alone cannot fix. Linda often works closely with the player by explaining ancient prophecies, translating magical texts, and guiding everyone towards the next step of their mission. It states here in my script, Linda often works very closely with the player. And I can confirm that this is true because while I was doing the lore and the storyline in SSO, a lot of the time when Linda does her research, us as the player are there with Linda to discover these things. I mean, us as the player, we are all over the map. We're helping all the Soul Riders, and then we also have our own personal quests. But I think whenever it's a scene with Linda, we are normally there doing things with her. There's a part in the quest where she's in a library and then we go to the Forgotten Fields to plant a seed. When Linda found out all of that information, we were there with her, and then we went to the Forgotten Fields to plant the seed. So I think that is a good point to put in there. Although she is the quieter and quiet than the other Soul Riders, Linda's intelligence repeatedly saves the team. She reminds everyone that knowledge is just as powerful as magic is. And I think that is such an important line. Knowledge is literally the only thing you need. Knowledge is the strongest kind of power you can ever get, because if you know something, you are the most powerful. And I think Linda is such an important member because I don't want to say she researches everything for the Soul Riders, but she is the one that researches the most, and I think that is generally such an important team player to have. Without Linda, many mysteries in the storyline would never have been solved, and the Soul Riders would not understand how to stop the Dark Riders. And I think that is the perfect place to end off with just a brief of what Linda does in the story. And let's move on to our final Soul Rider, and Von Blitzen. Section 4. Anne Von Blitzen. Now, in high school, this was the girl that a lot of kids saw as the spoiled, blonde brat who got everything she wanted. And oh my goodness, she came from a rich and wealthy family, meaning surely she's smart and she can get whatever she wants. But no, that's not the truth behind Anne. Anne Von Blitzen is elegant, determined, and incredibly powerful. She is probably the definition of confident. She never backs down from doing what she wants, and she comes from a wealthy family and shares an extraordinary bond with her horse, Concord. Anne's story is one of the most emotional parts in Star Stable Online and in the Star Stable storyline. Early in the adventure, we meet all the Soul Riders, but over the span of 1 week, the Soul Riders have been separated, and one of them, Anne Von Blitzen, has been captured and taken to a dreadful place called Pandoria, locked away in a crystal. Early in the story and in the adventure, she becomes trapped in Pandoria by the Dark Riders. For years, the Soul Riders search for a way to rescue her. But obviously, as we know, that took more years than they expected. When Anne is finally saved, this is when the storyline gets interesting. She has changed because of everything she experienced in Pandoria. She struggles with fear anger, and adjusting to life again, making her character one of the most realistic and emotional in the game. I think this is a character that a lot of people can look up to, because Anne von Blissen is a character that has been changed. She's not the same person she used to be. And a lot of people think that, oh my goodness, it's just the same Anne as before. But no, it's not. And she's tired of people thinking about that. And she wants to prove to them that she's not the same Anne. But then she realizes, wait, why do I need to prove myself to anyone? She can shine with the power from herself. And no one can tell her who she is. That is one thing about Anne von Blissen. Even after everything she has suffered, Anne refuses to let the Dark Riders win. She trains hard, rebuilds her confidence, and once again fights beside her Soul Riders to protect Jorvik. Anne's magical powers became even stronger after her time in Pandoria, making her a key fighter in the battle against Garnock's growing influence. As we all know, Anne von Blissen has the power of the Sun Circle. Her journey teaches players about courage, healing, forgiveness, and never giving up, and that not one person can tell you who you are and put a label on your name. Anne is important because her rescue becomes one of the biggest turning points in the storyline. It reunites the Soul Riders, strengthens their bond, and gives them hope that together they can defeat the Dark Side and the Dark Riders and Garnock. Her rescue mission strengthened the Soul Riders in such an amazing way that their bond will never be broken. And that is an end on basically a short talk about what each Soul Rider did in the storyline and how they affected it. Here's my ending quote, and I will see you in the finale of Star Stable, The Soul Riders. 4 Soul Riders. 4 legendary horses. 4 different strengths. 4 different goals. 4 different powers. Star, lightning, moon, and sun. Together, they prove that courage, friendship, wisdom, and hope, and knowledge are the greatest magic Jorvik has ever seen. They have been fighting battles against the Dark Riders, Garnock, and GED. But once you join the story,
we were pretty happy with.
they haven't lost a single battle. The Soul Riders, chosen by Adrian to protect Jorvik and save them from the darkness that lies beneath its wall. I'll see you in the finale of Star Stable, The Soul Riders. Until then, I hope you have an amazing day further. And if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and comment and like some of my videos. It really helps as I spend a lot of time working on my videos. And if you could share my videos and share my channel, that would also help. So if you do that, thank you, star out, and I'll see you in the finale.